2025 we will be celebrating 60 years of being a university, and this is something to celebrate. So whilst the celebrations will start in September, this is a precursor. So I would like to welcome all of you here, and we have our alumni here, headed by Mr. Prashant Baluga and many others. Prashant Baluga, who is the chair of our alumni chapter here in India. We have esteemed colleagues who are here with us today, so I'm going to ask people to raise their hands. So Professor Bob Green, are you there, Bob? There we go, Professor Bob Green. We have Dr. Nikhil Sengupta over there. We have Laura Charlton. Thank you. We have Hannah McNaughton, Head of International Partnerships. Hannah. We have Dr. Anthony Manning, Dean of Globalization. And we have Alex Perkins, Head of Alumni Relationships and Management. Thank you. And then, of course, we have our India team, headed up by Robin, the CEO, over there. Steve, we've got Steve in the room. Our country manager, Napur, in the red dress. Simran. And our new recruit, Shubhi, who's going to be based in Bangalore. We have distinguished guests. We have our education recruitment representatives. We have existing university partners and soon-to-be university partners. And this is an exciting time for us. So I'm going to hand you over now to Dr. Anthony Manning, who's going to say a little bit more about the university, and then we have a speech from one of our Women in Leadership scholars. And before I go, tomorrow is International Women's Day. A year ago, we launched Indian Women in Leadership Scholarships in the UK. Indian Women in Leadership Scholarships for the University of Kent. And today we are relaunching these. We have 5 of these prestigious awards, and they represent a 50% tuition fee waiver. We want to support women in India pursuing their dreams of overseas study and then coming back to India and making a real impact. And we have one such speaker here today. So with that, I shall hand over to Dr. Anthony Manning. Thank you.
Thank you, Dee, and can we have a big clap for Dee for the organisation for tonight with her team and with the colleagues in country. So, good evening everybody, it's brilliant to see you. My name is Dr. Anthony Manning and I work as Dean for International and Lifelong Learning at the University of Kent. And these events are always the most exciting opportunities in our calendars because it enables us to bring together our community in terms of our alumni, our future students, our partners and friends in the region. And India has long been one of our most loyal and established regions that has worked with the university right back until we began in 1965. And as you can see behind us, as Dee referenced, we're approaching our 60th anniversary, so it's wonderful for us to be here and celebrate with you. And I'm sure that in the room we have a number of individuals who've had a significant impact and contributed to our activity across many of those 6 decades. I'm not sure we've got someone from each of those decades, we might have, but definitely a substantial amount of them. And as Dee noted, we're here to really launch that scholarship in recognition of the huge impact that Indian students have made to our university and our keenness to support women in leadership. And obviously that's a really opportune moment given that tomorrow I think is International Women's Day. So what better time for us to be in India to celebrate that with you. So I'm interested in who is in the room tonight because we've got people from all different areas and connections with the university. So we've already introduced our staff, but who are you who is here today? If you're a partner organisation that's linked to the university, would you wave very vigorously for me now so we can see in the audience who is here? Brilliant, so we can see lots of partners. If you are a previous student, an alumni, someone who used to study with us, can you wave to show that you are one of our students? Thank you. So yes, lots of alumni, brilliant. If you're a potential, I've got it. Yeah, I've got it. And if we've got potentially future students, people who are interested in studying with us, are you in the room as well? Can I see someone who's interested in studying at the university? Are you waving? I know there were some people there. Yes, I can see you. I'm blinded by the light, but I can see you over there. And if you're a friend of the university or just a connection, please could you wave at me now? Thank you. Brilliant. I hope I've caught everybody there. And if you haven't waved already, that was your opportunity to wave. Thank you. So, brilliant. So, as we noted today, we're here to really celebrate our connections with India and that future connection with India that we have through this new scholarship, which is about empowering women and leadership. And when we were thinking about who would be the best speaker for us to invite to come today, I spoke to Prashant Baluja, who's the chair of our board in India, and to colleagues who are aware of our alumni. And everyone agreed that the best person for us to invite would be Deepika Ranawat Narukam, who is one of our senior alumni in this region. She's a person in a very senior role within the United Nations. And I wanted to invite Deepika to come to the front now and tell us her story about how she studied at the University of Kent and how that has influenced her trajectory in her career at the UN. So Deepika, if you're there, now's your time if you don't mind coming forward. Deepika, thank you.
Hi everyone. I hope I'm audible. I'm audible to everyone. Firstly, thank you very much, Dr. Manning, and to all the university professors who are here for inviting me. And when they told me that I have to speak today, I had to really delve down into the recesses of my memory to remember the time when I was in Kent, which feels like it was yesterday, but on some days it feels like it was a lifetime ago. So I was at Kent from 1999 till 2000. I did my master's there in the International Relations Department. I did a course called International Conflict Analysis. And since Dr. Manning has asked me to speak about the influence of Kent on my life, I think I can do that best if I tell you a little bit about my background. So I'm originally from Rajasthan, from a very small town called Alwar. I'm from a defense background family. My parents were in the Air Force. But all I wanted to do since I was a teenager was to join the United Nations. And now, 20 years later, for the life of me, I can't remember why. But that was the time when the Russian wall was falling down. When the Russia was disintegrating, the German wall was falling down. These were changes which were happening globally, and I wanted to be a part of that change. So even though my background was in pure sciences, I did physics, chemistry, and mathematics. I decided that no, I want to wear a uniform and I want to be a part of the UN. So how can I do that? I could think of only one stream, and that was UN peacekeeping. So I joined, I did a lot of background research at that time. Those were nascent times of internet, so it was coming from Alwar to the British Council, to the British Library in Delhi, doing online research, meeting people, joining job fairs. And there was 3 universities which I had shortlisted, and University of Kent was one of them. Highly recommended because of the expertise of the scholars there, the teachers who were there, and there are some names which come almost every month into my mind, and I thank them with the bottom of my heart. Professor John Groom, who used to be the head of the department, and some other teachers of mine. So a couple of anecdotes. Before I get into that, just to share with you what I do currently. So I work with a small UN agency called UNODC, which is UN Office on Drugs and Crime. So many of you would not have heard of it, I guess. It's one of the specialist small agencies which works on preventing and countering transnational organized crime. We work a lot on legal issues related to anti-terrorism. We work on anti-corruption issues, and we work on crime prevention and criminal justice. And my personal portfolio over the past few years has been on countering transnational organized crime with a focus on wildlife crime and trafficking, trafficking in persons, smuggling of migrants, and synthetic drugs trafficking. So that, in a nutshell, is what I do. It sounds much more fancy than it is, I have to admit. I work with the South Asia office, which is headquartered in New Delhi. We cover 6 countries from here. We cover Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Maldives, and Sri Lanka. So here I am, and my journey started with Kent. And during my initial discussion with Dr. Manning, I was recounting a tale. As a young student, who had applied for 200 internships after my master's had finished and not heard back from any of them, I wanted some practical experience on the ground. And I had specialized in UN peacekeeping in the Balkans. So there I went from the Canterbury campus to London to apply for my visa, and I was told, come back in 3 months' time for the visa. And my visa for UK was expiring, so I was paddling back into the university, and I happened to run into the head of my department, Professor John Groom, and he asked me why the long face, or some words to that effect. And I told him the story that I had gone to the embassy of Croatia. I needed to get there within a week, and I was told to come back in 3 months. And he told me that, you know what, the Deputy Foreign Minister of Croatia is having dinner at my house tomorrow night. So why don't you send me your application and let's talk tomorrow. Within 24 hours, there I was getting a call from the embassy, and the visa was in my hand. And that's how my whole journey started. So many years later, when I look back, 3 things which stand out for me are, of course, like I said, the professors who were scholars in their own field, but who also made learning a lot of fun. That I remember. And now, as an adult, there are 2 points which stand out to me. They were also very kind individuals, very empathetic, and these are, characteristics which I hold in very high stead now. Secondly, the stunning campus. You will have to work really hard for those who are potential students. You'll have to soak up the knowledge that is being given to you. But if you walk just out of the gates of the library and look towards the city and the cathedral, it somehow seems to make it all worth it. But the biggest point for me was, the peers with whom I studied, because this was a very small group of international conflict analysis, and these are people whom I highly respect. These are people who came from different walks of life, including some who were mid-career diplomats and were a part of the group, some who had come right after their bachelor's, but as individuals, these were people who were honest, who were hardworking, and just simply people I think, privileged to be associated with. So some of us joined the UN. Those who were really, really smart did not and became financial analysts and are really rich, but some of us stood the ground. So with that, that was my journey, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. For those of you who are thinking of going to Kent, I would say take the next flight. Do not have any doubts in your mind about it. So with that, thank you very much for this opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you, Deepika. Thank you. That's amazing. Thank you. And as I said earlier, when we were introducing Deepika, amazing to have such an illustrious alumni with us. But one of the great things about such an evening is the discovery of what you can find in terms of who is in the room. And I'm really excited to introduce this next person, who is Jayanti Seth, who is also one of our alumni and someone who studied with us between 1977 and 1978 and went on to teach at Jesus and Mary College. And I hope you don't mind, Jayanti, if I ask you to say a few words about your experience. Thank you.
Sure.
Well, what can I say? It was the best year of my life. So make no doubt, those who are going to Kent, that it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of work, and a lot of learning. A great deal of learning. I came back from the University of Kent with an MA. I've said the English department, but it was actually an MA in English and American literature. It was in 1977 that I registered, so it was still the 20th century, and it was the a paper in English and American literature of the 20th century. And I was lucky enough to walk into a job in Jesus and Mary College upon my return. And I have been teaching there. I had been there as a student as well. And I taught there for 40 years and extremely reluctantly was retired when I turned 65. I'm 70 now, so it's been 5 years. Thank you so much. What can I say? What did I learn while I was there? We had an MA in English and American literature, as I say, but in fact we had Larry Chase from the philosophy department, Stephen Bann from the history department, and we ran seminars every week, two-hour seminars twice a week, and they were the most challenging because everyone in the class presented papers, and we were subsequently required to write a thesis on a subject of our choice. And let me say, it was my MA that led to my PhD, because my MA was in the autobiographical writing of a poet called Louis MacNeice, and I continued later back in Delhi to do a PhD on autobiographical writing again, but just spreading it a little further into more theory and less specifics of the time. 40 years now of teaching, I taught a lot of what I had learned at Kent. It was the most wonderful learning experience. The learning curve was wide, and I have continued to go back and keep in touch with the person who supervised my PhD, Jan Montefiore. Some of you might have read her, and I have had the occasion to meet her husband, Patrick Coburn, who has been a specialist in the Middle East, and therefore political writing and speaking on the BBC and various other outlets on the Middle East. Fascinating, but most fascinating of all was the peer group. We came from so many countries. I represented India, but there was somebody from Algeria. There were people from Scotland and Ireland and Wales, and there were a couple of people from America. And basically, it was a very global experience. One of my American friends, whose name is Greg Brandenburg, his mother said, "You are like the Tehran hostages. You can't give up on each other. For 40 years, you have kept in touch with each other. As you know, I don't know if how many of you are of the age where you remember the Tehran hostages, but they apparently kept in touch with each other for the rest of their lives, as did we." Kent has been a huge part of my life. I would be very, very happy to answer any questions on it, and I, just like Deepika said, I encourage you to go tomorrow. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you very much. But I'd just like to say, unlike those hostages, we will let you go later this evening. So, of course, tonight is about our alumni and about how we're introducing new interest to the university, as well as celebrating the long impact that we have had and our partnerships with our organisations. But in terms of the establishment of our alumni group in India, there's no person who is perhaps more impactful than our chair of our alumni board, and that is Prashant Baluja. And he's going to say a few words, as well as introducing another very important person in a moment.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Prashant Baluja. I studied business at Kent way back in 2005. I did my undergraduate degree there. First of all, thank you, everyone, for making it here. All our partners, all alumni, all industry partners, all applicants, thank you for coming very much to this event. It happens biannually. If you're an alumni, you can see QR codes around the venue. Please join the Kent in India WhatsApp group, as well as please also update your information on the university alumni page. I'll sum up my time at Kent in one sentence, and then I'll introduce Mr. Asid Gupta. Kent is my second home. Canterbury is my second home. So I'll just keep it at that. And I'd like to introduce you to one of our senior most distinguished alumni, Mr. Asit Gupta, IAS officer. He's Senior Additional Secretary to the Government of India. So, Mr. Gupta, we would like you to have speak a few words.
Friends, see, first of all, I wanted to convey to you that I have done my graduation and post-graduation both University of Kent. And today when I walk on the streets, I find that the youngsters, they are having the multimedia computers in their pockets. Then I wonder whether they have ever thought of how the innovation come. They take every innovation for granted in today's world. No. The multimedia computers and the driving force of the battery system, that itself tells us the story of the low carbon emission. And how did it originate? It originates from most of all, cutting edge technology. And that cutting edge technology, I always tell the youngsters, since I happen to be a member of the Association of British Scholars and also in the Executive Council, so I interact with them. I tell them that this cutting edge technology you will learn from universities like Kent. Visit that and Kent will teach you the cutting edge technology in all the fields. That is, whether it is material science, whether it is computer science, or whether it is the semiconductors. The tomorrow lies there because it has helped me in getting through the UPSC exam, qualifying in the Maharashtra cadre, and then retiring as Additional Secretary to the Government of India. I'm ever grateful to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, we don't want to come between you and your conversations after we've had so many brilliant speeches. We want you to be talking informally and sharing your stories. But I wanted to reflect on the wall behind me before we finish. We've got all sorts of pictures from our website of our students in action in various forms. And I wanted to remind you of your opportunity this evening, which is on these postcards. If you're one of our former students, we'd really love it if you could give us a testimonial about your experience at Kent so that we can use that to share your experience with future students. So whenever you graduated, if you're an alumni from the University of Kent, we'd love it if you could take one of these cards and comment on your experience and share that with us before you leave tonight, and you can give it to one of our colleagues on the desk. And I can see my colleague Dida Rocha here. I'm sure would like to say a few final words.
Thank you again for coming. We're about to serve food. The bar is open, whether you would like a gin, a whiskey, a soft drink. Please, you're here to meet each other, to interact, to connect with Kent, and for us to connect back with India. I hope you've had a really good time. We hope to see some of you in Canterbury at the University of Kent, either for a return visit or for your first visit. Thank you very much. Please enjoy. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Prashant Baluja. I'm the managing director for Baluja Shoe Company, the oldest footwear brand in the country. We've been operating for the past 105 years. My experience with TC Global was way back in 2002 when I took Natasha ma'am and her team's help to study at the University of Kent. I did my Bachelor's of Business Administration there, and I graduated in 2005 and went on to study further as well in the UK. Well, TC Global was extremely supportive at that point of time because there was not too much support available in the country, and obviously with Natasha ma'am's mentorship, I landed up at the university. It was completely different from me because at that point of time there were not too many Indians going to study, especially at the undergrad level in the UK. So she and her team really supported me all throughout, and I thank her for giving that support at that point of time. And
both her and the University of Kent support is where I am today. So thank you very much, ma'am. And thank you, Hannah,
Thank you.
for being a part of the university.
Thank you for those kind words, Prashant. Well, I remember you because your mother was always with you and always very worried about you as to where you were going to go. Kent has been a fantastic partner. We've had Hannah there working with us for more than 20 years. And really, it's one of those gems that hadn't been discovered because a lot of universities that were known were perhaps the key ones like Oxford, Cambridge, LSE, and so on. But there are so many universities and so many gems that are really great for students. And with the campus atmosphere right near the town, and the quality of education, the research, I'm so glad you went, and I've seen you now, bloom and get on with your life. And I have a lot to be grateful also for the university because they've always been very supportive. And that's what we love to see our students really, take advantage of everything that's available at the universities and really become great promoters of themselves and go on to be, you did the BBA and so on.
That's right.
So you become an entrepreneur, and I think the
Absolutely.
university has helped you a great deal.
Definitely.
So thank you.
Definitely. Thank you very
Hannah.
much.
On behalf of the University of Kent, it's an absolute pleasure to have this opportunity and moment, a very special moment, to come back together with Natasha Chopra Ma'am and with Prashant Baluja. I was very honoured to have been connected to the University of Kent for some 20 years now, and having spent some time with Prashant in his early days when he joined us at the university, and spending many times in Natasha Ma'am's office interviewing students and receiving very many words of guidance and support as I entered in my career into the international education space, and we've remained strong and firm friends over the years. I'm in regular contact also with Prashant, who we're thrilled is our board chairperson for the Kent in India Alumni Board here in India, and we're very, very, very much in his debt for all the hard work that is not often seen that he does behind the scenes. And it all started through that relationship that he embarked upon some 20 plus years ago.
20
when
plus
he
years ago, 2002.
joined
Yes.
and decided to come across to the University of Kent to do his BBA programme, and we keep in touch and we see him at least on an annual basis,
Definitely.
and we're very, very much
If you guys aren't here in Delhi, I'm definitely there in Canterbury every year.
so it's a wonderful opportunity to have this moment to come back together whilst we're in Delhi to celebrate our long-standing partnership, and we look forward to many more successful years to come.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Arish Heather. I studied at Kent back in 2017. The favorite thing I have about Kent is, well, I mean, there are a lot of things to pick, but I'm going to pick one, which is studying at Kent made me a very good lawyer. That is, it taught me how to be proactive at university. That is, proactive in life as well. Whatever I learned at Kent, it taught me how to deal with clients, how to argue my case, and made me a pretty popular person around the globe, around the internet. So learning at Kent is a must-go for everyone, because you learn a new way of life, you learn a new way to do things, and you learn a new experience. So hop onto that and make a good choice.
So I'm an alumni from Kent. First 2 years was COVID, so I don't remember much. My third year was amazing. Good campus, good food, no responsibilities, but safety. Had a lot of fun. Fourth year was same campus, but a lot of responsibilities, challenges, dramas, friendship dramas. Very fun to remember. Academics, they give you a lot of things. It's up to you whether you want to take it or not. But the opportunities you get, it's just amazing. I had a wonderful time. I grew as a person. The opportunities I got, maybe I wouldn't get again in my early 20s. Very amazing time. In my second year, I think, I was the international student chair, and I was under Anthony Manning's. Very good guy. I was given understanding to do anything and everything I wanted to support international students, and I was out of my depth, but I was allowed to do it anyways. It was fun. to be honest. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Ongona.
And my name is Renu.
We were part of Kent's PhD batch 2015 to 2020. But it was part of a European Union funded PhD program of which Kent was the coordinating institution. So both of us spent the first 6 months at Kent.
Yeah, and we were also at Parkwood at the same house. And yeah, some of my fondest memories are, of Parkwood. I think I stayed in two houses actually, so I have
Oh,
fond
yeah.
memories of both those houses and my housemates, as well as our batch.
Yeah, and I mean, living on campus was fun because we had Woody's, which was the closest pub to Parkwood. And yeah, some of my fondest memories were the MEMS pub evenings, MEMS being the Center for Medieval and Early Modern
Yeah.
Studies. So every Thursday, we
Yeah.
would have the MEMS research seminar.
Yeah.
And after that, we would go to some pub around Canterbury. So which one was your favorite pub? Do you remember?
I don't really remember. 3-4 pubs were there.
My
They
favorite
were-
was the Unicorn.
Yeah, I don't remember
Strongly
the names
recommend.
of the pubs, but yeah.
But yeah, so that really fond memories because we would go with like faculty members as well. But it was a good way to bond and a good way to feel belonged in Kent. So yeah, that was my fondest memory.
Yeah.
When you say memories, it's really not really just one single memory. It's really all the things that happened also outside the classroom, because it's also about the people you met and you got to meet through Ken. Because I got to meet, for example, people I know. I mean, and this is somebody who's living in India. I know people who work for NATO. I know people who is doing immigration in Canada. I know somebody who's in the government of Colombia. And these are things I would never be able to have, or these are people I would never be able to meet if I was never at the University of Kent. And these are also relationships which I really value. This is something which, as somebody who's working in public policy, is something which is very, something which is of a lot of value to me, and something I really cherish, and I really thank Kent and the University of Kent for that.
Hi, my name is Matre. I was pursuing Business Analytics Masters batch of 2024. So I have just one thing to say. The campus is very beautiful and you will love your time over there. And if you're having butterfly effects, thinking about all the aspects, all the new things coming to your way, just take a deep breath and just go there. You will love it. It's a beautiful place. The faculty is absolutely brilliant and you're going to love it. It would be one of your best years, all those years you'll spend there, you'll love it all the way to your deathbed. So just go ahead. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Neil Bhutani. I did my politics and law degree at the University of Kent between 2014 to 2017, and I really enjoyed my time at the university. It has really helped me kickstart my career. The university provides on-hand experience with various of the fields of subjects that you choose. I did internship at the House of Commons through the University of Kent whilst on my politics degree, and it has really kick-started my career and is still kick-starting my career as a senior government relations advisor. The law school's clinic really equipped me to work in various law chambers in London, and I'm still using those skills. Overall, I had a great time at university. It was a good balance of learning how to balance life and your professional network. And I took part in all the university's programs that it offered. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm here at Kent Alumni event and in Delhi, and we've had the most amazing evening. I've met with some of my alumni that I didn't know before. It was an amazing evening. I got to connect with a lot of like-minded people, and I'm an alumni myself from 2015 to 2018. I studied forensic science at the University of Kent, and here's my professor, Dr. Robert Green. Bob, would you like to say something?
Not really. I'll leave it to you. It's your show.
So, something I would like to say about Kent is I loved my time there, and I would love to go to lectures because it's something that I've never experienced in my life. And all the professors were so supportive, especially Bob. Like, he's a mentor to me, and um, I've kind of followed in your footsteps, Bob, I think, um, where I think you've pioneered the program for the UK for a DNA database.
Thank you.
And I would like to do the same thing for India as well. Um, so it's very nice to connect on that level. Uh, and it's nice to have you in Delhi as well. Like, you're connecting with so many people, and
Nice to be here.
it's lovely. Uh, and I'm grateful to Ken for having this event here and bringing all of us together. Thank you so much.